Hi everybody, it's Donna from donnasdreamworks.blogspot.com. Long time no see. I've been making some cards for people on order, but I haven't done anything in a video for a long time. Not really, only one time since I moved into my new home. Been kind of busy. But today I thought I'd share an anniversary card that I'm making for friends of ours. Using a technique I saw over at Split Coast Stampers. Beata did it not too long ago, actually. It's a little bit different, but the technique is somewhat the same. What she did is to emboss on black cardstock and then used some chalk pencils to color in the embossed area. And it made a very subtle card. I made one earlier, and you can see I used the black cardstock here with a clear embossing powder. I'm not sure even if it shows up all that well because it's very subtle. A clear embossing powder, and then used my regular pencils, and colored pencils, not chalk, to color them in. I did then put a little bit of glitter and glam on with some glitter mist and some bling from my gems, and I can't think of the name of the tool. Anyway, you know what I mean. And I've just finished that one, but I'm going to make one a little bit different this time. I'm going to be using a navy blue cardstock. I'm going to be using my Versamark, and this technique really works well with stamps that have areas big enough to color in. I'm going to use some butterflies, and this is a stamp where I can use multiple colors too, which will make it nice. The other ones I think that Beata used were flowers, and those work well too. So I have some butterflies here, and I'm going to just stamp this blue cardstock, sort of a navy blue, and I'm sure this is a Reflections cardstock. Let's give her another one of those. Okay, and we'll try a couple of this one. And I didn't use an embossing buddy on this because, as Beata said, it doesn't really make a lot of difference if there's a little bit of overlap on your embossing powder with this technique. And this is sort of a butterfly that's got its wings. I'm thinking maybe that's almost enough. Maybe I'll get one more up in here. Okay, there you go. And now I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper, and this time I'm going to use a gold embossing powder. And I'm just going to cover it all up well. That looks good. And we'll just put this away before we blow it all over the desk. Now I've got to make a little noise here with our embossing tool. We'll get this dried up in just a second. Bear with me. That's enough of the noise. That looks nice. And actually the gold is very pretty on the navy blue. I'm just going to give it a little breeze here to make sure we've got it cool down. And now what I'm using are just these colored pencils here. plain old, I think they're Crayola colored pencils. And the object is to find pencils that are going to show up inside here. And you really can go pretty much over the embossing because it doesn't really stick to the embossing. So what I'm going to do is just to make a little bit of color in different areas of these butterfly wings. It's a fairly easy coloring technique because you've got nice wide lines to stay inside of. And the colors show up really quite pretty on the dark paper. And now I'm going to use a little bit of a green. And again, you want to use a subject matter that lends you to adding different colors. And we all know that butterflies sometimes have beautiful multiple colors. And so it's perfectly legitimate to use different pens. And what I try to do is to just kind of overlap these colors a little bit. It helps them blend in to each other. And it comes along pretty quickly. This is just a little bit of a yellow. And I'm just going to go in here with a little bit of the yellow and fill in those areas. And maybe hit a little bit of the purple with a little yellow. I think I'll do some more yellow on this big fellow down here. The chalk pencils give you an opportunity to blend your colors a little bit more. I don't have chalk pencils, so these seem to be working fine with me. And I've got a little green again, and we'll go down in here. Maybe over in here. And we'll give a little purple in the middle. And you see these butterflies really kind of come to life as you're coloring them nicely. You know, it really, a little purple up on the tips of this fella. Whoops, a little green over here. And you just want to pick up pencils that are light enough to show up on the dark cardstock. And I think the blues and greens go well together on here. Again, we're going to put a little purple in these things, I think. Give a little yellow in the middle. And there you go. And it really is quite a pretty, subtle color on the card. And the rest of the card is really quite simple. The first one that I made, I embossed the base card. I've already computer generated a sentiment inside, but I'm not going to emboss this one. I'm going to layer it. So I'm layering first with a lighter blue. Making sure I'm putting it on correctly. I have been known to put these on the back sides of cards after I've already got the sentiment generated on the inside. Not good. This is a nice technique because, as I mentioned, it's kind of subtle. That could be used for, this is an anniversary card, but it could well be used for a sympathy card too. Isn't that pretty with the colors in here now? And I probably will add a little glimmer mist. I won't do it now because I don't have my box up here with me. And I have a little sentiment here that says Happy Anniversary, which I think, I'm not sure I like the color of that, so I think I might change that to a more subtle, maybe print it on the blue and put it on there. So I don't think I'm going to attach that yet. As you can see on the original one, which I put off to the side and promptly buried, because it had a straight white background, the happy anniversary in the white was quite nice. But I think I'm going to change the color up just a little bit. So there you go, a really simple technique. It really makes a pretty card, and I think it's very easily used for a lot of different instances, whether it be anniversaries, birthdays, or sympathy, or get well cards. There's a lot of different things you can do with this technique. So try embossing on dark colored cardstock. This was with gold, this was with clear. I think Beata used silver. So depending on how much you want it to show up, that is the color of the embossing powder you'd use. So that's what I have made for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Glad to be back with you. See you again soon. Thanks for stopping by Donna'sDreamWorks.blogspot.com.